What's up, people? In this video, I want to talk to you about the top 5 tips that I've come up with for playing the new game mode Arena in Apex Legends. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. First tip that I have for you that a lot of people don't seem to know is that you can change your scope when you purchase a weapon. Now, all you have to do when you're on controller is hit triangle, and then you can actually look through and choose a scope that you would like, as long as you're in that same bracket, right? So obviously, if you only upgrade it twice, you can get a blue one, and then so forth and so on. But make sure that you're doing this, because in this game mode, you need every advantage that you can, and if you're not rocking with a certain scope, make sure you change it to the one that you mess with. For tip number 2, I want you to make sure that you are prioritizing getting materials and meds that are scattered around the battlefield. So for materials, you'll see those little canisters just like in the regular battle royale mode, and you grab them, you get 200 materials, and you get to carry that through the game with you, right? Now basically that means that you're going to be able to get more upgrades than the enemy team. So that means you can get an extra meds, you can upgrade that R301, you can get your ultimate, whatever the case may be. But the point is that the person who has more upgrade, who has more disposable income, usually is going to be the person that wins the round. Now meds are also very important in this game mode simply because they are so scarce. So if you can get to those little supply drops, you want to make sure that you get that Phoenix kit, the 2 to 3 batteries, and then if you have a lifeline, you can also get cells as well, which can make a huge difference in a fight, right? Because if you are going into a fight with 100 health as opposed to somebody with 150 health, you're probably going to lose that engagement unless that person is a potato. Now for my third tip, I want you to try to focus on using weapons that are like in the meta or that are very consistent, right? So like the R301, the Spitfire, the Volt, the R99, these are all weapons that are consistently good. You know what type of damage they're going to put out as long as you're hitting your shots for the most part. Like the Peacekeeper, the Mozambique, the Mastiff, some of these weapons, you know, you'll mess around and hit for 10, 11 damage sometimes. And obviously this tip is for people who are like your more average players. If you are a pro, you're not watching this video, you're hitting people in the head every time with the Peacekeeper, you're doing big damage. This is for my regular players, right? Now for my fourth tip, I want to talk about team synergy. Now over the last 2 days, I've noticed that there are just a few legends that are getting chosen at a higher rate than others. Now to list off a few of these legends, we have Bangalore, Bloodhound, Gibby, Lifeline, Valkyrie, Wraith. Now, obviously, Bloodhound is probably like the most OP on this list right now. Bloodhound being able to track people is a big deal in this game mode because it gives you a huge advantage. Anybody without a Bloodhound usually loses. Now, another rogue that really stands out on this list is Lifeline. Lifeline is able to get people up so quickly while still being able to fight that it can change the whole dynamic of that 3v3. It's very hard to get people at range with a Lifeline on the team, right? Because it's hard to get in there and push that before she can get her teammate back up, especially if she picks up that gold backpack. And I think the reason that Gibraltar and Bangalore have been seeing a lot of action in this game mode is because their ultimates do some crazy damage or just crowd control in general, especially as that circle is starting to shrink and in those high stake rounds where, you know, you can just completely shut a team out. Like let's say you're 2-1, right? Having a Gibby ult or a Bang ult is going to change the whole flow of that fight. Now, as far as Valkyrie goes, I think a lot of people are playing her because she's new, but also because of those slowing grenades. Like they don't deal a whole lot of damage, but the slow and that little stun can be devastating to a team, especially if they catch more than one of you in it. Like it's pretty much a GG unless the team is really bad, like they're not pushing. Now as far as Wraith goes, I don't know why so many people are playing Wraith in this game mode. I suppose because she has such a good escapability, but her ultimate doesn't really bring a whole lot to this game mode. I think people are really playing her just because there's a lot of sweaty Wraith still in the game and they're used to playing her. But as far as team play goes, Wraiths weren't really giving me a very hard time in this 3v3 arena game mode. Now, if you want to know more about each legend and how they do in this new 3v3 arena mode, put it down in the comment section and I'll be sure to make something like that up for you guys in the future here. Now, for my final tip, all I want to say is that you have to work as a team in this game mode. There's no room for like ego pushing or trying to be top on the damage board, anything like that, because there's no third parties here. There's no way that you're getting out of trouble once you're in there unless your team gets you out of it, right? So you have to be making sure that you're pushing in a measured sense, that you're actually communicating, using a mic if you have it, at the very least use the ping system, because a lot of people are just pushing or trying to flank on their own, and then it turns into a 1v2. They usually get smacked, and then you put your team at a disadvantage. So it is very important in this game mode that you are actually communicating and that you are taking advantage of those times where people are trying to flank or when people are getting caught out, because that's going to make it easier for your team to walk out of there with that dub. People, if you made it to the end of the video, give me a peace, and let me know any tips that you think should be added to this top 5. I appreciate you watching. We're going to be doing some Apex Legend content over on Twitch every Thursday and Saturday, so feel free to go ahead and pop over there and drop a follow. We'll see you in the next video or live stream. This is Source of Course. Peace, 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 peace.